Hello, happy bro bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.
I am 8.
Talking.
Okay, yeah. I am 18 years older than Ken, and both of his parents were younger than 18 when he was born, so I'm older than both of his parents.
Gotcha.
But my birthday is next week, actually on Thursday, on the 19th. I turned 55, which is a fucking blows my mind that I could possibly be that old. But yeah, I mean, luckily I feel great. I'm as strong as I've ever been. I do yoga every single day, so I can enjoy, in my mind, I'm 25, like 28 max. And because I'm still physically fit, I can maintain that illusion for at least a little bit longer. But the fact that in 5 years I'll be 60 is just I can't even think about that.
Dude, in 5 years I'll be 30 again. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally.
If I were you, just start today. You're not going to be 55. You're going to be 45. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's harder because I got my two sons are 25 and 22. So knowing that like I've got kids that are 25 years old is also like a little bit insane.
Yeah, my nieces and nephews are the only measuring stick of time that I actually have outside of the mirror. You know what I mean? Like when I see my nieces and nephews, I'm like, damn, thank God I don't have kids. I don't need a fucking walking around a memory stick of like, you're old. Like, fuck having kids, man. Everybody but me has kids. All my siblings have kids.
Yeah, you're telling that.
Yeah. And all my friends have kids at this point. That's what I mean.
10-year-olds and a 2-year-old.
Well, I know Double O is really interested in what we're going to be talking about today, because you want it to be homeschooling. We're going to be talking about some stuff. I guess Jordan, if you wouldn't mind, obviously welcome to the show, bro. Introduce yourself to the audience. I know you've been on the show before. If you wouldn't mind reintroducing yourself to the audience, let them know a little bit about who you are. Let them know about how you got into crypto and how that led you to what you're doing in this space today.
Sure, yeah. No, well, first of all, it's great to be back. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on. My name's Jordan Page, and I do a lot of stuff, but the purpose of today is I'm the CEO and founder of Firefly Education Network. I'm the director of this new film coming out called The Book of Atlas that we'll talk about, which is very crypto-centered. I'm a musician. I've been a professional musician, most of my life now, and I got into crypto through the Ron Paul movement back in like 2010. A buddy of mine, Mike Salvi, he's a comedian, a stand-up comedian from Philly. He called me up one day and he was like, "Hey, you need to come up to this meetup in Philly we're having for this new thing called Bitcoin." And I'm like, "What the hell is Bitcoin?" He's like,
So
"Bro."
we all know Mike pretty well. Ken and I for sure. Mike Salvi.
Oh,
And
do
we met
you?
him in New York, and he's a great guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
All
because I
stories,
met
bro.
Mike Salvi. That was the guy I had come out help us make some content with his friends from Philly.
Hell yeah, him and Buzz. Yeah, and the guy that got smacked in the face with a water bottle by Annalise.
Yeah, he got so butthurt. Yeah. We all know.
Crypto
Mike.
comedian. Yeah.
So I got some great dirt on Mike that I would love to share. So
Oh, I'm
Mike,
sure he would love it.
Mike is my buddy. We've been friends a long time, and
He's a great guy.
He's one of my favorite people in the world. My wife calls him the other woman. Because we have just such a funny relationship. We it's always like who can make the other one feel the most uncomfortable. We have like this going competition. But anyway, so I meet Mike Salvi tells me, we're having this Bitcoin meetup, and I'm like, what the hell is Bitcoin? He's like, it's this internet money. And I'm like, man, why am I going to spend my hard-earned dollars, my Federal Reserve notes, on some internet nerd money? I remember saying that out loud the first time I heard about it. But then I had somebody explain Bitcoin to me, really explain it and explain blockchain technology to me. And I understood because, I'm a libertarian. I was a major Ron Paul guy. I used to tour with Ron Paul when he was doing his presidential campaigns. I was his opening act. I was like his hype man. I would go on and perform right before he would come out, get the crowd all hyped up, and then he would come out and give this big speech. It was awesome. And I got a semi-national following from that. And Bitcoin played into it because the Ron Paul movement was all about not all, but in a large part was about ending the Federal Reserve, which is this privately owned, international bank that has destroyed our currency and has funded every war this country's been in since 1913. So we're trying to end the Fed. That was our big slogan, was end the Fed. And Mike used to run the End the Fed rallies out of Philly, and I used to perform at them. So we're trying to end the Fed.
That might be where we first met, right? Because I went to an Ed Defend event with Mike and met a few of his friends there. Were you at that one?
I don't know if that's it. I don't know if we met, Ken, but I performed at the End of Fed.
Yeah,
rallies.
Jeff Berwick and you and all that. Wasn't Jeff Berwick on stage too at that time?
He may have
It's his
been.
birthday.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I don't know if you remember. I met all the people that were on stage. Mike Salvi introduced me. He might have introduced me to you as well. I almost feel like
That would be so funny if we had met
everybody
all the
who
way back
performed
then.
at End the Fed, he introduced me to. That's pretty fucking cool.
That's cool. Yeah. So that was like the movement I was part of, and Bitcoin represented the ability to subvert the Federal Reserve System, which is based on debt and blood. And we wanted a people's currency that we could do peer to peer. And so you would not I'm not even going to tell you how many Bitcoin I have spent on absolute nonsense stuff, like back when it was under $1. When I was introduced to Bitcoin at 33 cents. And
Wow.
and I was an early adopter. I was like pushing it, with friends, family, businesses, trying to get people to use it. There were a lot of people that influenced me and all of that, getting me to do it. But once it caught on in my consciousness, I was all in on Bitcoin. And just I would give people Bitcoin, just like, hey, here's a Bitcoin, get started. I'll help you set up your wallet. So I'm proud that I was part of that early movement, but it also sucks that I probably spent tens of millions of dollars in Bitcoin on smoothies and T-shirts at festivals.
Never look at the Block Explorer, bro.
I mean, literally 100 Bitcoin, which you for sure sent out at least 100. That's 10 million, roughly $10 million, give or take.
Right, but it's
Crazy.
like if I and many others like me hadn't done that,
Yeah.
would we be where we are today? I don't know. I really credit Ross Ulbricht with helping Bitcoin really take off, because he gave us the first marketplace with Silk Road. And I don't know if you guys saw like last year before, I put out a song for Ross, Free Ross, and it was all part of that campaign. So it was.
That was no song. Oh, that's
Yeah.
fire. That's fire.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I
definitely
got
heard
to
that
watch
song.
you perform that live at the conference with Tatiana, if my memory's serving.
Yeah, you may have. I played it at Bitcoin Nashville, and then
Yeah,
I
that's
got to
where I
play-
was.
Oh,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were all there
yeah.
together.
And
Yeah,
then I
you were
did it
playing
all-
with Tatiana afterwards too for a while at in that lobby area. Like,
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to remember. Like, I'm not making this up in my head, right? I was in Nashville.
No, you were there. You were there.
Because that is possible, right? Like, you do have to ask.
What really blew my mind was getting to perform it live for him in person at PorkFest that last June, because I debuted it at PorkFest 2 years prior, and I played it for his mom in the front row, and then 2 years later I'm playing it for him. That was really
That's
that was
amazing.
amazing. That was so cool.
That's
Wow.
fire.
So I'm like
definitely
a big freedom guy. I write a lot of songs about real things that are going on. I write about government corruption and war. I write songs about political prisoners. And, you know, so far I'm 2 for 2. The two prisoners that I've advocated for both got released. The other was Schaefer Cox, who was totally railroaded by the FBI. So like I'm like that's the world I'm coming from, and Bitcoin is like this engine to free people from centralized banking and the tyranny of central banks. So that's my mindset about cryptocurrencies. It was never a get rich type of thing. It was like, this is how we free humanity type of thing. And then, you know, and so the Ron Paul experience and all of that. And I haven't mentioned so far, you know, my wife and I have 7 kids, and we've got 5 boys and 2 girls.
Wait,
And, like,
7?
we got
Okay,
7.
then.
Yeah. So my
Are
oldest
you
is
done,
8.
or is there going to be more?
Oh no,
That's a
we're done.
great question. That is a
No, we're all
great
done.
question.
We've been done for a long time. My youngest is 8 and my oldest is 18, and you know,
Oh,
and
wow.
so 5 boys, 2 girls, and we started homeschooling them when my oldest was 4, right? Because we were already seeing, you know, she and I were both raised in the public school system, and we were already seeing what they were trying to do to my oldest son and pigeonhole him and get him on this track, and we were like, no, we don't want any part of that. So we started homeschooling when he was 4. And it was hard. It was we lived in Indiana in the middle of nowhere, and we had no help. We had no like support at all, and it was really, really hard. But over the
That's
years,
right. I'm from Indiana, so yeah, I'm all ears, bro. I'm trying to homeschool my kids. I'm from Indiana, like yeah, and I want 7 kids too. So yeah, I'm listening to all ears.
Right.
Just
well, you know, we figured out a new way to do things. You know, like just like fostering a love of learning in our kids. And they've carried that with them as they've grown up, and we're still doing that. And you know, we eventually we continue to move out west. We moved to Montana, then we moved to Washington, where we live now. And you know, we opened a micro school out here. So my wife, Mary, got her master's in teaching in 2020, and we came up face to face with the agenda in the school system when you start reading the textbooks that they're giving to teachers to absorb, and it's a really insidious agenda, and we were both so convicted by like just the complete outlandish nature of what she was having to learn. I think a lot of people would have just been like, just keep your head down, just get your degree, tell them what they want to hear, and just get through it. And we were like, nah, hell with that. No, we're not going to do that. We've got to do something. And she said, you know, whatever we do, whatever we build, we have to call it Firefly. And I said, why? And she said, because we have to teach kids to be lights in the darkness. And that she just said it out of nowhere, and it just resonated with me so hard, and I just ran with it. And so fast forward to 2022, a guy that I was working with, Mike Smart, introduced me to Ken.
we know Mike Smart as well very well.
Yeah. Ken had me on this show, and he said, bro, you need to come to Shitcoin. And I was like, okay, you know, and he gave me a speaking spot. And I go down to Miami, and when I do the show, and that's where I met our first investors who like listened to what I had to say on stage and basically came up to me and were like, we want to get you funded. And so, and that happened the following year, the beginning of 2023, we got our first funding. And now fast forward to, you know, like 4 weeks ago, we just launched Firefly. So Firefly is now a live platform. It's a mobile app as well in Google Play and Apple app stores. So you can anyone can download it. If you've got a device and an internet connection, you have access to an education. And so we're just doing things outside the main like the public centralized space. You know, we're a faith-based, liberty-based, family-based platform. And we're basically giving people tools and resources and community to get their kids out of the public school system, out of the indoctrination centers, and you know, raising your kids at home according to your values and giving you all the things that you need to be successful. So, you know, we're an AI integrated platform. We've got lots of different AI tools. We're implementing the Ron Paul homeschool curriculum. So he's got a K through 12 core classical curriculum that we're offering at a very competitive price. We're bringing it in the next like 3 months, and it'll be like embedded within our ecosystem. So you basically have everything you could possibly need in one spot, including a full curriculum with Firefly.
That's awesome. I'm showing the about section right here. And first thing that stood out to me, it says that it's grounded in Christian values. So is this sort of like more like a public homeschooling, or is this more like Catholic homeschooling kind of vibe? I'm just curious what that meant when it says with Christian values.
That means that we are Christians, and we've put our values into the way that we set this up. I'll get just like not all the curriculum is specifically Christian based, but some of it will be. And part of what we really love about this is that parents have so much control to be able to direct the course of their kids' education. You know, whatever your value system is, you should be the one instilling your values in your kids, not the state. That's like an ultimate point. So something that we have in here is we have a workflow called Chalkboard, which is where parents can build courses using an AI system. They can build an entire course with AI on any subject matter, and then after it gets published, it gets approved and published, it then goes out to the whole community. So if I make a course on something, you know, me and my kids are going to start using it, but you and your kids can use it too. And we call that Firefly Co-op, because in a co-op, parents are teaching each other's kids essentially. So we're doing this on a worldwide scale. Speaking of worldwide, we're also internationally accessible because you can translate the entire site into any language. And we have another AI system called Translate Plus that will not only translate a video like you see me on screen. If I'm teaching a course, you're going to see me, you're going to hear my voice, but in another language. But my lips are also going to be dubbed to the new language, so it looks like me speaking. Yeah, I could give you. I could give you a demo of that if you want to see it. It's pretty wild to see yourself speaking in another language.
Kind of. Wait. So my mouth moving the way, and then, but it will be moving as if I'm saying the different dialect that way. Like it'll have the phonetic movement. That's wild.
Your lip movement matches the foreign language that you're speaking perfectly.
I'm gonna show
Dude,
you
that is that is trippy. I don't know if I like that or not yet.
No, it's wild.
There'll be no more, Bruce Lee movies where he's like, "I'll kick your ass."
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't know if I like that or not, dude.
Exactly. All right.
That's
I'm gonna show you this.
That came to mind, Double O.
That's a really good point, actually, because like for foreign dubbing, instead of having closed captions or really bad dubbing with the mouth movement, now like AI can have every single actor speak whatever language you want perfectly.
All right, guys, check this out. This is English to Vietnamese. This is me. Paul's mission to bring the gospel of Jesus Christ to the non-Jewish populations of the world is unparalleled in scope, success, and example in the context of the first century church. Okay, so you hear me in English. Now I'm going to go to Vietnamese.
Thần học Cơ đốc giáo. Sứ mệnh của Phaolô trong việc mang tin mừng của Chúa Giêsu Christ đến với những người không phải là Do Thái trên thế giới là vô song về phạm vi, thành công và tấm gương trong bối cảnh của nhà thờ thế kỷ thứ nhất. Tầm quan trọng của ông đối với khuôn khổ mà các cơ đốc nhân
Yeah, it just needs
it
the
doesn't
initial.
even look that like. I mean, not to say that it doesn't look edited.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was fire.
Holy shit, that's trippy, bro.
Yeah, it is super trippy.
That's that deep fake shit.
And this is the worst. Tomorrow it'll be a little bit better, and next week a lot better, and next month you won't even recognize. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is the fact that this is the worst it's ever going to be. The what you just saw.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. This is like the beta versions of
I
everything.
got a question though. I got a question about the curriculum and the teaching patterns or whatever. Like, what if we don't have religious values? What if people don't have religious values? They don't want to teach to their children.
You don't have to share the values of the platform at all. All you have to do is understand that that's where we're coming from. Like on Firefly, you're not going to get the transgender agenda. You're not going to get the like the leftist political agenda is not going to be on Firefly, because that's what's pushing millions of people out of the public school system. It's like they're creating a market for us, and families want an alternative that fits with their values. And the majority of homeschoolers are fall under like the more conservative Christian values, but not everybody does. You don't have to like sign a statement of faith to be on our platform. You just have to acknowledge that that's where this platform is grounded in, and that we're not promoting communism. We're not promoting, socialism. We're not promoting, like those types of things. We're coming from a different perspective.
Let me ask you a question. Are there actual like religious teaching? Are there theological classes as part of the curriculum? Like, or is it purely secular in terms of the actual education itself?
It's a mixed bag. Some people are going to be teaching more Christian classes, and some people will be teaching just normal classes like math and geography. So but it's all a la carte. You pay a subscription, and then you get access to all of the courses that are there. So
if it's a la carte, could people add other religiously focused lessons and classes as well?
You can do classes about those religions, but we're not like promoting other religions. And I
know, but I'm just saying like, but I'm just figuring if like, because you don't want to pigeonhole, because like if people would like to go to Firefly but they're Muslim or Jewish or whatever, even atheist or whatever, they might want to have like everything you have educationally speaking and the quality of education, but based around their beliefs.
And again, as a libertarian, I am also very much about free association and basically representing all arguments. As a Christian, like my goal is to spread the gospel. So it's I'm not going to be spreading the message of Islam. That's not what I'm about, right? So and there's always like the public school is doing that. So they're like, I always argue, if people don't like that we stand for these types of things, they have already a free place they can send their kids where they can get those things. It already exists. It's the fact that the system is shoving so many people out. It's created this huge market of folks that are underserved, because homeschoolers are the biggest growing education demographic, guys, and they are the most underserved. Like
a lot of people would argue the biggest thing missing from homeschooled education are trade skills. Are there any kind of trade skilled focused education things for this platform? Because people that, right now everyone's raising their kid to be a fucking electrician. Like they're trying to raise their kid to be a plumber. They're trying to raise their kid to do something that will be around for the next 100 years that AI isn't going to replace. Yeah. If you could fix AI with this education, do that education. Electrician, plumber, framer, contractor, construction, whatever. But people want their children to learn trades while they're in school. So I'm just curious, does Firefly have a trades?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I love that you brought this up, because we've actually, as soon as we even started floating this out there, we started getting contacted by people who wanted to teach plumbing, who wanted to teach electrical work, and so we were like, we already have people on board who are ready to teach those classes.
That's what you got to get your kids on, 00, right here. Get one to be a plumber, one to be an electrician. That way, whenever one gets a job, they can refer the other.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, those trades are people that actually make money. Like many plumbers are making six figures.
South Park made a whole episode about how plumbers are going to rule the world. Did you see that episode? South Park said the plumbers are going to rule the world.
That's awesome.
I can see how that makes sense. But no,
Jordan,
back to
okay,
not
go
to
ahead.
cut you off, but back to about like the religious values and stuff. Like I wasn't like advocating for us needing that, but it's like because Mr. Rogers, I remember him being Christian, but he didn't really express that at all. Like he was I think he might have been an ordained Baptist or whatever, but nonetheless he didn't ever project those values at all. But he still taught so well and he resonated with so many people. And like I feel like if y'all coming from that perspective, then it's really really great. I'm glad to hear that.
Mr. Rogers didn't have to preach it because he did it. He was literally
Man, for real.
doing what the gospel was saying to do. Like, he was doing the
Yeah.
thing that so he was like
Yeah.
leading by example. I
He
fucking
actually
miss Mr.
washed.
Rogers.
He actually washed another man's feet on his program. If
Yep,
you
yep,
recall, I grew up on Mr.
Twice.
Rogers. I
A
love
couple
Mr.
times.
Rogers.
A couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I watched the documentary this the other day. I was in tears. I cried 5 times within 45 minutes. I swear. Like in the first 5 minutes, I was in tears. Like, hold up, wait a minute. Like this dude was the closest thing next to Jesus. Like, what the hell? He was like, Captain America with a Bible.
Did you see him fighting? Did you see him fighting the government for the right for his show?
My point, yeah, I watched the whole documentary. When I tell you, he earned $20 million for PBS just off his speech that he said, and his speech wasn't even wanted to be heard, like the senator or congressman or whatever. He didn't even want to hear nobody else. But when Mr. Rogers started speaking, he was like, you know what, you just got that $20 million, and now we and that's how PBS existed. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he saved PBS. I remember
for
that.
sure.
So, Jordan, I have a couple of questions actually, just to not to keep harping on the religious thing, but I'm actually very like my kids are older, but my nieces, I have young kids and young families, and there are a lot of aspects of public school that I don't like. I am Jewish. I heard that you mentioned something about like preaching this to the non-Jewish population. Can you just address like would I run into any conflicts? That was the point of my previous question before. Is if I wanted to teach a purely secular education, or even if I wanted to teach some Jewish biblical like Torah study, would that be possible within Firefly?
Russell, I actually just published a course on the Pentateuch, just the Pentateuch. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can use Firefly however you want. It's a tool that we built for you as the parent. It's like what values you instill on the platform. We're not going to betray our own values to make a buck. That's just not what we do. But yeah, absolutely, you can use the platform. And like there's and you can create secular content. You can get on there and use Chalkboard and create a course for your kids, or you can create 50 courses for your kids. And the AI makes it easy, right? Like you customize it, and like the first step is the AI populates the content. The second step is you, the human, go in and you can rephrase things. You can add pictures, videos, PDFs, worksheets. You can add all kinds of stuff.
This is unlocking a whole new way to learn, because you have some people that are like learners by reading, some people are learners by hearing, some people are learners by doing, but now there's a whole new learning by entertainment.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
so what about because I'm a professional tattoo artist. You spoke about other trades, being able to teach like plumbing. Could I teach tattooing? Like that would be something that I would be interested in teaching my children. You know what I mean? And if I could use format, absolutely. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Because
and then with this class, they could teach it to their kids, and next thing you know, you're teaching your great grandchildren how to do something that has been in the family as a trade for generations. That's badass.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This is really cool because it's always the most difficult aspect of homeschooling is building the curriculum in a quote unquote professional way that you would be used to in public. Like the advantage of a structured school system is that the teachers know ahead of time, like after many years in so many schools, they build, whether you agree with the curriculum or not, in terms of the ease of teaching. Like if you're looking to embark on homeschooling, I think that's one of the challenges mentally to say, okay, how am I going to manage this? And
how do we get from 2 + 2 = 4?
Right. So this platform
2
makes
+ X = 4.
So this platform makes that a hell of a lot easier, and that's a huge barrier lifted. Jordan, I had one other question, and again, this is my own thinking in terms of homeschooling. you know, the one thing that is sort of built into a public or private structured school system is the socializing aspect of the kids naturally get into that. So that's something that, you know, I'm sure you personally have had to think about this. So I'm curious if you can tell us, like, I'm genuinely curious what you did in your own family and whether Firefly has anything built in for the socializing aspect.
I'm really glad you brought it up, Russell, because this is
Yeah,
a
that's a
big
great
question. And like, I want to be very, very clear. The last place that I want my children to be socialized is in the public school system. We saw very early on in the first year to 2 years of homeschooling, the difference between our kids and public school kids. The proof is on the playground. We would go to the playground and we would like see, like, the homeschool kids are kind to each other. They help each other if somebody falls down. They're respectful of one another and of adults. The public school kids were throwing rocks at each other. Public school kids and the public school kids' parents are sitting in their cars, you know, looking at their phones and honking the horn if one of their kids isn't doing well or isn't behaving themselves. Like, we were out there playing with the kids, right? So I will say, like, one of the big myths about homeschoolers is that they're socially awkward, they're not socialized. No. They're getting a whole different type of socialization, and our kids have an incredibly rich social life. They have so many friends because, like, there are so many ways that you can get kids together outside of a public school environment, which is essentially, like, I would say it's more akin to a prison system than it is to institutions of learning. I know because I grew up in one. I was raised by the public school system. It didn't do me any favors. You understand?
And I was in public school, and I've been to jail, and it's the same.
Right. I was about to say the same thing. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So we wanted to teach kids to be able to talk to each other, to older kids, to adults, like, on a level playing field. And, like, you get that, like, when you get that one-on-one mentoring, like, from your parent, from your older siblings who are also doing it too.
Yeah.
You're getting so much, like, you're really fostering the whole person. You know, you're not a number. You're sitting in a box. Like, I'm a man. Like, when I was a boy, like, I didn't want to sit in a cage for 8 hours a day. I wanted to get up and move. I wanted to build things, right? I wanted to do things.
Same. That's why I always ended up in detention.
Yeah, because the system was not set up to help you to succeed, right? Like you were probably bored. You were probably like too smart, and you were probably bored with what was going on, and
they call it ADHD, and they medicate it away.
Don't get me started on the medicating of the little boys. You know, so again, all the more reason to get your kids out of that system that is not, like, children are not one size fits all. I know I have 7 of them. They're all different, radically different. They're not one size fits all, and only you as the parent, you are the one who really, like, will go to bat for your kids to make sure that they get somewhere in life. Like, teachers in public schools, I know that many of them mean well. I think some of them are phoning it in, but many of them are really good people who are constrained by an evil system, right? And so no one is ever going to love your kids like you are. No one is ever going to fight for their education like you are. So you should be the one doing it. And a myth that my wife Mary is always trying to dispel with people is that, well, I'm not a professional teacher, so I don't feel qualified to teach my kids. That is the biggest lie. That is from the pit of hell. That is a lie from the pit of hell. That is not true at all.
Teachers from the day they're born.
We're teaching them life experience, and we got life experience. So why can't we? Why wouldn't we be qualified to teach?
Well, that is one of the byproducts of public education, is convincing you that you are not qualified to teach. You are only qualified to learn, and you are forever a learner. When you leave school, even if you go to college, you know, you still only feel like you're allowed to learn. You're not a professor. You're not allowed to teach somebody something. You don't have the credentials for that.
It's a really, really good point. And, you know, just thinking about this, like, whether you're teaching your kids or not, they are learning from you every single day. So you better be consciously aware of what what they are learning from you, and maybe
Yeah.
consciously
Oh,
teach
that
them the right things.
something just came to mind, Jordan. Speaking about not being a teacher and not feeling qualified, what about those teachers that do genuinely want to try and have that passion? How do they justify doing their job for free essentially on Firefly? Is there like a way to monetize so a professional teacher that does work in a classroom at a public school or a private school even could do this in their spare time, altruistically be a teacher? Or is there a way to monetize it so they could have this as a second job or even replace the job they have at a public school with being a teacher on Firefly?
This is a great question. I'm really glad you asked. Yes, the answer is yes. So we also built Firefly for teachers.
That's
And
really cool.
because there are tens of thousands of teachers leaving the public school system every year because the system does not support them. They're caught between a rock
Undervalued.
and a hard place. They're having to compromise their values for a paycheck. I mean,
That's a,
we could talk for hours about the failures of the public school system, but to answer your question directly, yes. Teachers who want to leave the system or at least want to supplement their income can create courses on Firefly. We have live teleconferencing built in. We have privacy-based teleconferencing so that you can do a class with up to 250 kids. And that's an extreme example. Most classes aren't going to have that many, but we can accommodate up to 250 people per class. And you can teach live classes. You can do pre-recorded lessons as well. Teachers have no upfront investment in order to do this. We give them a free account and we give them free credits to build courses and to do translations, and then they can monetize that and we'll market that to the Firefly community. So absolutely, and we are recruiting teachers. I was actually on a podcast a few weeks ago that we got a huge bump in teachers. We had at least 30 teachers sign up from that. So yeah, so we're right now we're growing. We just launched. We're building, and we're just encouraging people to check it out at fireflyedu.org, and you can get a free account and just be part of our social media platform. So Firefly Socials, you can just get on there and start an account for free and be part of the community, and then hopefully those people convert to paying subscribers and they get access to all of our tools and resources, because I've only scratched the surface in what we've got. It's a pretty robust tech stack that we've built, and this is just version 1. I tell people that a lot. Like, this is just version 1. This is like our get to market product. But version 2, 3, 4, 5 are going to be nuts, and Web 3 plays into that because we're going to be deploying a Web 3 version of the Firefly app as well. Hopefully sometime this year. That our roadmap is pointing to this year to get that done.
And will y'all be accepting crypto as a form of payment on that Web 3 version? Oh yeah.
Yes.
So you definitely have to start accepting Bitcoin Cash for sure.
So I think probably over the next couple of months, that's going to be put in place. We have always planned. It was part of our business plan, was to both accept crypto and be able to pay out in crypto if people want to be paid in crypto. And so we're putting together the merchant account for that. I mean, right now it's fiat, but again, we just launched. This is like a soft launch. And but for sure by the fall semester we'll be taking crypto payments and being able to pay people in crypto too. So yeah.
We talked a lot about the. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say I didn't answer one part of Russell's question, which was about socialization. With the social platform, parents and families can meet each other there. You can meet other like-minded people who are also homeschooling their kids, and you can meet people in your local area. You can also meet people outside your area and even internationally. And because the site is translatable in any language, you can communicate through text messages. Man. You can communicate in any language because you can type it in your language. They can click their button and it comes through in their language. So we're really trying to break down like barriers to people meeting each other and really foment this entire worldwide homeschool movement.
Dude, I can't tell you how many times as a kid growing up that I wanted to go over like friends' houses or do things like we were all English speaking as kids, but like all my friends' parents were either Spanish speaking, they spoke Polish. A lot of my friends' parents came over from Ukraine and Albania. So like
I was gonna say Russia.
none of our friends, exactly, none of our friends' parents knew each other, were talking to each other, and they didn't like that we were hanging out with each other because they didn't know each other's parents, or like, they're like, well, go meet, you know, his parent, go meet her mom and dad. Like, we don't speak that language, they don't speak English. Like, fuck, this sucks. Like, it was one of the biggest headaches of being a kid, because like, I want to go to a sleepover, I want to go to a birthday party. No, I don't know their parents. Yeah, they don't know anybody either. They just immigrated here. Stop being a dick.
I went through that too though, for sure. My little homie, his name was Ichiro, and his family was from Portugal, and his parents, you know, no, they was from Brazil, and they spoke Portuguese. Yeah. And yeah. And man, I was mad because I couldn't hang around and play Yu-Gi-Oh all the time, because like their mom was like, Ichiro was like, yeah, my mom said you gotta go. Like damn hard.
Just having that one tool, I could see changing my life like drastically growing up. Just having like a translating tool for parents at school, like going to parties, dances, all that stuff would have made a huge impact for me and my friends, man. Because like I said,
And
we
again,
all
soon
spoke
if,
with our parents.
and soon enough there'll be the, you know, once the meta glasses or smart glasses are ubiquitous, you know, then it just automatically shows you on the screen, or you hear through, you know.
It already does that for 7 languages right now. It already it'll translate
Exactly.
it
So
live
now
on
with the
spot.
screen built in, it can actually display like closed captioning and or audio translation in real time, and you can talk to anybody. And if they've got those glasses, like that's it. There's no more language barrier at all if both parties have them.
One of the
Crazy.
things I did want to talk about, though, since you know we mentioned a few of the failures public schooling has had, one of the biggest things that it doesn't really fail at, which is like a crux of why a lot of people still say they send their kids to public school, is for the free food. A lot of motherfucking people in America cannot afford to feed their children 3 times a day. They got dinner. They need to send their kids to school early for that free breakfast. They have to go to school for that free lunch. If they don't go to school, they're not going to eat because we don't have the money to, unless we're just buying dinner, and you're going to have
Hey, America is obese. We don't need to eat 3 times a day. I'm just gonna say that.
you know?
Crazy.
Straight
So
up, like real shit.
So as we take children out of public schooling, the options, are there any for kids that are being homeschooled to replace those meals? Is there any programs for people who homeschool their children to receive meals? You know, I know they have like Meals on Wheels for seniors. There's meals for, you know, there's a couple ways, but I don't know if there's anything available for the children whose parents want to homeschool them, but they don't have, not just, you know, they may not feel smart enough. They may not have the funds to just feed their kids those 2 meals every day for the days they won't be in school. That money will add up every month.
Well, see, now you've got like, whenever I think about my brain, I see 4 hamster wheels, and whenever somebody brings up an interesting idea, they just start spinning real hard, you know. And now you got my hamster wheel spinning, Ken. Now, like I don't need another project to take on, Ken. Thanks, Ken. So I don't know. I mean, like there's probably a way to figure that part out, and like long term through Firefly to like.
I can spit it out right now. Sponsored meals. Every meal that comes pre-packaged has advertisements on it, like a diner thing does, like a placemat on a diner. They have those ads all over. There's like 20 of them, and they come with your food. And they cover the mat with your meal, and it covers the ads. But like that, if their sponsors, there's probably a DAO. Bitcoin Cash has a proposal system. You could submit a proposal to a blockchain project and say, hey, if you give me like 10 grand a month, I could feed X amount of kids with your branding on each packaged food item.
Yeah.
There's white
Yeah, I like
labeling too. There's products that white label. Like Prime is just a white label of some shitty Gatorade product. You know, so you could reach out to companies and ask them if they would white label stuff, and they could write that off. That's donations. So now Gatorade could donate whatever, and it's a write-off, or you could get them to white label a Firefly version of Gatorade, and they could write that off as a donation at the end of the day. So I don't know. My hamster wheel started spinning too, bro.
Yeah, fast too.
I think it's a really innovative idea. One of the things that we were planning to do long term is to set up a marketplace for childcare workers that are like and do it through like local organizations like churches and charities and whatnot. and so that there's some like local accountability for those people. But to have the marketplace be on Firefly so that people like homeschool families who need help and need childcare can do it. And even setting up chapters and co-ops where local teachers could teach in person, not just online, but teach actual classes in person to homeschool kids. Like my wife Mary and I, for example, we ran for the last 5 years. We've run a micro school here at our ranch for about 40 kids in the local community who are all homeschool kids, and they would come here 2-3 days a week, and Mary and other teachers would teach them.
Is there an IP camera available so parents can just jump in and see what is going on in that environment at any time? Because that would be cool. Like, I wouldn't mind my kids going to a stranger's, like a location for somebody to teach them or whatever, as long as I could jump on a camera and see and hear everything that's happening. That would be a comfort.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy to implement. I mean, we didn't really do that because we knew everybody. They're all friends and people in our community. They all know us really well.
I'm sure insurance would appreciate the cameras.
Yeah, there's liability and all that kind of stuff to consider, but I would say that's definitely possible. We really want to connect people and help build infrastructure outside the public school system to provide the services and the resources that families need to do it without them. It's like if you like a band trying to make it without the record label. Well, that's it's pretty hard to do. It's a ton of work. So if there was an alternative system set up to help you be successful, that's what we've essentially built.
Well, replacing public education with communal education seems like actual common sense progressive thing for any society to do. Like it doesn't seem fruitful to have public education in theory, and then in practice it hasn't. You can see it. Exactly. It hasn't. Exactly. And I think that's because it's a design. I mean, like, everything's a fucking scam, man. It sucks, but like, public education is a scam for the taxpayers. It's literally a pyramid scheme of idiocracy. So much money is involved in the dumbing down of every other next generation. It's hard to see how do we get the money away from them. And I'm not like, whatever side of whatever politics you stand on, the end of the Board of Education is the start of a communal education. Like, that's the start of where people go more homeschooling. And I don't see that as a bad thing. I think we need to take some funding away from public schooling and provide funding for home education, so we can supplement until we can replace.
That's happening a bit in a number of states. They're allowing homeschoolers to basically collect the money that they paid in taxes to pay for their homeschool. But it's
that's dope. That's
but it's
so
really
cool.
kind of, it sounds cool, but it's really kind of a backdoor for the state to be basically interfering with your homeschooling, which you don't. There's a fine line there.
Well, you want the state to acknowledge your kids' education, right? Because if they don't acknowledge it and they try to go out into the real world that only accepts accolades from accredited educators, it would hurt. It does kind of suck.
Well, what we're seeing now, Ken, is colleges' admissions offices are there on the lookout for homeschooled kids because they can read and write. They can do arithmetic.
It makes their college look better when those kids attend their colleges. I totally get that.
Yeah, and they're self-directed learners. There's not as much hand-holding needed. Like homeschool kids end up being more scholarly and actually doing things. And like you said, making the colleges look good. Because they're self-directed learners, they haven't gone through a system that passed them through whether they learned anything or not.
That's true.
Right? So it's an exciting shift that we're seeing. Our goal is to have, Firefly on your resume as how you were educated be like, if you're an admissions counselor, you're a Firefly kid, stamp, we want you here.
I like that a lot.
Like the IB, International Baccalaureate or something, make it worldwide known.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that just takes time, man. Once the kids that are learning through the Firefly education system are in their 30s and now they are employers and they are hiring, they will have that filter in, and that will only grow. It's just time, right? So anything like this takes time and I mean a lot of TLC, but yeah, the only you can't rush it, right? So you just have to prepare for what that looks like. So I know you're saying like everything's kind of just getting started, but before we wrap up the show, is there any like thing on the roadmap or anything like in the future that you are working towards that you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I mean, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, we have the Ron Paul curriculum coming in, which is a full kindergarten through 12th grade curriculum. So it's like an entire education that will be there. I love that. I was there. I performed at that event. Yeah.
Dude, when I met Ron Paul, I was wearing my CryptoKitties onesie, and I think I broke him. I think I broke his mind, bro. Nick Spanos is like, hey, Ron, you got to meet this guy. And he like brings Ron over to meet me, and I'm like, hi, Mr. Paul. And he's like, who are you? Like, I was like, I thought he was afraid for a second. Hi, I'm Kim. But anyway, after a few minutes, I realized he's just like, and I mean this in the best way, he's just the crazy uncle at the Thanksgiving dinner party kind of vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
He's very family vibes. Like, I feel like I knew him, or like I was comfortable around the dude, which was really like, I'm not very comfortable around strangers like that are in positions of that much power type vibes. But I was chilling around him.
No, Ron's the real. Ron is a genuine article. He's the real deal. I've known him many, many years. We have a long-standing relationship, and he's a genuinely good man, incredibly intelligent. Just he's very much a family man, and anything good that you ever heard about him is really true. I mean, I've learned that firsthand. I definitely backed the right horse when I was supporting him. And we have a lot going on. We have a lot of other programs that we're bringing in that are alternatives to college, as an example. Our friends at Autonomy are going to be bringing their curriculum in as well, and they are 17 plus in terms of age group, and it's a leadership and entrepreneurship business type school. If you look up Autonomy, getautonomy.com, I think. And Richard Grove, it's his course, and they're in their 12th season, I think, and they're turning out really amazing people with incredible skills that are building real businesses. And so we're looking at master classes for adults as well, and eventually Firefly University will be on the distant horizon after we get established and get things going. Another thing that I really want to mention and talk about before we go too is we're putting out a crypto version of Marvel this year called The Book of Atlas. It's a film. It's an entirely AI animated film called The Book of Atlas, and it's really a celebration of crypto culture, and it's branded to Firefly. So just a quick story. About 2 years ago, I had created this NFT collection of all these beautiful Firefly, pieces of art, and they were all like these different AI Fireflies, and it was like 3,000 of them. And I started making these animated shorts, like 2 to 6 minutes long, incorporating these NFTs into the story of each short. And I showed it to my marketing guy, who's now my CMO. His name's Damien. And Damien's like, I love these. These are great. He's like, what if you made a 7th one and tied all these stories together? And I said, that's a great idea. So I started making it, and I realized that there was this story that I wanted to tell, and it became this 2-year project that's now finished and completed, and we're releasing it in April. And it's like Bitcoin superheroes meets ancient aliens. So I have the.
I watched the trailer. The trailer is amazing. The trailer is very cool.
Thank you. Want to play the trailer?
I was hoping.
Hell yeah!
Is that cool? Can I play the trailer for you guys?
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. You said you were gonna play it, so I didn't. Watch it.
Okay. I jumped the gun.
Turn that shit up.
Bro, are you watching this?
In a stunning turn of events, Lux Ethereum has just arrived on the scene
Hey man, let me call you back. The book just jumped off the shelf by itself, and I felt this, I don't know, pull to pick it up.
Okay, it says that these are artifacts from ancient times that hold great power.
There are old illustrations inside of creatures that look just like that thing on the news.
Kraken.
Something else. I've been having these wild dreams that make no sense. And there's an illustration in the book of what I saw last night.
That's insane, man. What do you think it means?
I think it's a warning. I believe something world-changing is about to happen. A power so vast that it could take over the entire world.
Oh, Firefly. That's good.
Oh,
Yeah, that's awesome.
Jeez.
That's dope. I like how the Firefly guy looks. He kind of gives me vibes like Spawn vibes. Like if Spawn was a good guy.
Yeah.
I was a good guy. What are you talking about?
Oh, I mean,
I will have to go in a minute just to, but you guys can carry on if you want to go past.
yeah. No, we're gonna wrap it up here. That's is that available on fireflyedu.org? I didn't see it on that website. Is that on a different?
Not yet. So we're going to be doing a thing where we do a premiere online, and where we're going to be giving away some NFTs as movie with the movie tickets, and we're going to be doing a raise for this through a company called Cineblock, which is like they're SEC approved to do essentially an initial public offering for films. And so we're going to give the community a chance to own part of this as we build it out. So our long-term plans with this is to build this out as like a crypto version of Marvel, essentially, and do comics and video games and action figures and all and other stories, like building out all these different characters have their own stories and do spin-offs and sequels and whatnot. So there's a lot of upside to it, and we're going to make this available for the crypto community to own a piece of it.
That's what's up, man. You gotta. What is it? Digital Poster Co. Are you talking to Jeff about doing anything with Digital Poster Co? Getting some of those digital posters or anything?
Yeah, we're actually doing a Book of Atlas poster with Jeff Crane and Digital Poster Co. and Good FOMO, and we have a Book of Atlas poster that's going to be part of NFT the movie. And so so they're going to be showing our trailer in front of their movie, and we're going to be showing their trailer in front of ours.
I love that.
So yeah, Jeff is actually an advisor on
that gives like VHS preview vibes. Remember back in the day, you'd pop the VHS in, and it would have like coming soon type shit that you would never have heard about unless it was in the beginning of that VHS. Like,
right? Yeah.
I think that's how I found out about Osmosis Jones. It was on something. I can't remember. I was watching a movie, but it was in the.
Okay, sorry guys, I gotta run.
All right, bro. Have a day.
Take care.
All right, so thanks for joining us, Jordan Page of fireflyedu.org, my bro. I guess when you have things up and changed, if anything, progresses more and you want to come back and talk, please do so. I appreciate your time, and this is cool. Double O's definitely going to be in touch because he's got to get his kids on this like yesterday.
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. Cause I want to be able to teach tattooing and stuff like to my kids and to other children and stuff. That'd be amazing, man. For real.
Yeah,
'Cause
trades
my
are
son, he already been
important.
tattooing at 3 years old.
Yeah, I
Well,
grew
thank
up
you-
in
thank you
Philly, Kensington Ave. There was Philly Ink, and there was like a 7-year-old that the owner of the tattoo shop would let tattoo people. So if you wanted a free tattoo, his 7-year-old, or I think up till he was like 12, until he started
Yeah.
charging people, would just do free tattoos. And he got good. Anyway, we'll wrap it up. But much appreciate everybody's time for joining.
Thanks,
Don't
guys.
forget, like, share, drop some comments, and make sure you check out fireflyedu.org. Get your kids off-boarded of public education and on-boarded to community-based education. And have a day.
Thanks, guys.
Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Ken Bozak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Ken Bozak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Ken bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Ken Bozak.